No, it's good to go. You can start.
Okay.
Anamika, are you ready?
Am I audible?
Yeah, please check with Anamika. Ready ആണോ ആള്? Anamika?
Hello?
Yeah. Good to
Ah,
go?
yes, good to go.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the eighth series of Retalk Feel the Versatile Vibe. Joining with us today is a very special guest, Ms. Anamika Pisharadi, the current BEAT chairperson of Government Engineering College, Kozhikode. An aspiring BTech student and also a very vibrant volunteer, Anamika was the MDC of her college. She has also been a youth engagement lead of the Youth Career Connect 2020. Welcome, Anamika.
Thank you so much, Hasna, for that warm
It was a
welcome.
pleasure.
Also, thank you, IEEE, for providing me this opportunity to share my views with the fellow IEEEans of your student branch.
It's a
So, thank you.
pleasure having you. So, the V chapter was established at your SB very recently, right? So, how do
Yes.
you feel being the chairperson?
Okay, so before getting on to the questions, I just want to give a disclaimer for all the viewers. So this is a newbie alert. I have never had any experience as a speaker for the sessions. I have done what Hasna is doing right now. I have prepared questionnaires, moderated events, but this is my first time being a speaker myself. So I first of all ask everyone to pardon me if I make any mistakes. And
That's completely fine. You may go on.
so moving on to the question, this is my first time being a chair, and I have had no previous experiences as like being in a similar role. So as we all know, every position comes with a set of powers, and these powers are always accompanied by a set of responsibilities. Similarly, being the chair, I had a significant amount of responsibilities joined along with it. So since I was the one who took initiatives to start the affinity group in my college, established one in my college, I filed the request. I did all the procedures to make like filing petitions, as we all know, the regular IEEE stuff, which they've like happily approved. So according to the rules and guidelines of IEEE, since I was the one who took the initiative, I had to serve as the first term chair, like the founder chair of this affinity group. So for the first term. So that's how I got to become the chair of BI affinity group of my college. And yes, as it says, it is one of the biggest achievements and the biggest choices I have ever made in my life till date.
Okay. So, what was it that made you a part of IEEE? Any influencer in particular?
Um, my interest to join IEEE, I would say I always had this keen interest in volunteering and networking. I always loved being part of events, be organizers, be the volunteer, anything, and like meeting new people and creating a strong, developing bond with them. So that was one of my favorite hobby, first of all. So like we all know, IEEE is all about uh, volunteering, as it says, the joy of volunteering. So, like we all know, IEEE is all about joy of volunteering, and it has this amazing, strong network base all over the world. Uh, there is the reason why we call it the world's largest tech forum. So, that strong base of network throughout the world. I think, that is the reason why I chose to join the world of IEEE. When you talk about influencers, in my case, none. There was no any particular influencer. It was my interest in volunteering which led me to join IEEE.
Oh, okay. So, tell us about a volunteering experience that you enjoyed the most.
Um, okay, volunteering experience. This is I guess I can speak apart from IEEE as well. So the experience, if I speak as in which I enjoyed the most, it will be there is this NGO. It is also an NPO, non-profitable organization. It's known as UNI Bangalore. It is Bangalore-based UNI. That's the name of the NGO. And I guess many of you might have heard about it or have even been a part of it. So I don't know. So this is the NGO I have worked with. My like how I happened to work over there is because my closest friend used to work as one of the chapter fellows who established UNI in Thrissur. So eventually I enrolled for a membership and to be a part of that Thrissur chapter of UNI, and was lucky enough to be selected as a volunteer for volunteer as a mentor for teaching the underprivileged students English and basic computer knowledge and life skills. So that's how I started my journey with the UNI. And the way UNI works and their social commitment to make a change in the society. And yeah, that is the reason maybe why I enjoyed it the most. So that will be the most favorite enjoyed volunteering experience of mine.
Okay, nice. So the next one, what are the 3 things that you would want to change in yourself as a person?
Talking about things I should change, let's not say change. I wouldn't want to change myself. Like being myself is one of the most favorite thing I like about. I like. I wouldn't say let's not emphasize change it from head to toe. I would like to improve on certain things of mine, certain qualities of mine. Like I need to work on them and make them better. And the first and foremost one would be insecurities. I am a person of insecurities. This inner voice keeps asking me, will I be able to do it? Oh my God. Should I take that over? Are you sure? Keeps on asking me the self-doubt. So that is something I need to work on. I need to build upon my confidence, I would say. And you asked for 2, right? 3.
Yeah, up to you.
The next one, I think, will be definitely my ability to manage my time and schedulings. I am very bizarre at it. When I focus on one thing, I lose the other things apart. Everything falls apart. So that itself proves I'm very bad at time management. So that is another thing. And okay, that is another thing. And the third one, I will say it will be selectivity. Selectivity as in I need to select the opportunities. I need to be more selective when it comes to taking up opportunities. The ample opportunities which can benefit me in the right way. I just shouldn't grab all of them, and since everything will go apart from our hands. So that would be it. So these are the 3 qualities I would say I need to work on.
Okay, so how do you handle a stressful situation?
Okay, stressful situations. Since this is a personal question, I'll answer it on a personal basis. Many of the others have different way to cope up with stress. One of mine is if I know I'm in a situation or a state, if I'm not in a state to take a critical decision or make a critical decisions, I'd rather take a break. I'd rather take a break and get myself a quick power nap. I just take a quick nap. And after which, once I wake up after a quick power nap, I've always felt very rejuvenated and recharged. And of course, it makes it easier for us to tackle down the stressful task or anything whatever you're doing. So when I say power nap, let me emphasize it on a little bit, because people need to realize that power naps and slumbers are not the same thing, right? So power naps are very short time span, and you take it very intensively. You sleep for 30 minutes, but very intensively, that when you wake up, you feel fresh. Whereas for me, slumbers are more difficult things to face, because after 4 hours, 5 hours of slumbers, I wake up very tired. So I stick on to power naps to get over my stress, I would say.
Okay, so were there any negative experiences or a lesson you've learned after being a part of IEEE?
Okay, negative experience in IEEE. I guess
Or a
none.
lesson you've learned from any experience?
Okay. From my experiences in volunteering, there have never been negative experiences. There have been experiences where I had to improve myself. I wouldn't say negative experience from IEEE I have ever faced. And in fact, it is because I'm still a fresher when it comes to IEEE. I am going to complete a membership of like 1 year, but then When it comes to involving with IEEE, it is my, I'm still a fresher because I have only started involving in IEEE and its events like a couple of months ago. So I would say I have never had any negative experiences yet, and yet a lot of beautiful experiences I have had. So
Okay,
none.
that's good. Okay, so which one would you prefer, being an organizer or a delegate?
Okay. Uh, Organizer or a delegate as a participant, right? You're asking if I'll become an organizer or a participant.
Yeah, which one do you enjoy the most?
Okay. It's fun to do organizing than becoming a participant, as we all know. It is fun. There is not like a particular reason why I want to be an organizer and why I don't want to participate. It is, I have, like, being a participant myself, I get got to learn a lot from those experiences, which I still continue to do. But I also understood that these opportunities are not being utilized efficiently. So what I enjoy doing the most is organizing because it's just fun.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have a question in the chat box.
Okay.
If you had a superpower, what would you wish for and what change would you bring?
Okay, uh, that is a real fun question. But this question I have encountered myself. I used to keep myself thinking, what will I, like, I'm sure everyone out there have thought about this once in a while in their lifetime.
Yes.
If we had an opportunity to get a superpower, what would be it and what will we do? So I have been thinking about this since childhood, like when I was a kid. So initially, I used to think that I want this power to fly. Very childish, or like things showed up in my mind. But eventually, when we brainstorm over the same question again and again, I guess the output becomes more wiser and wiser. So right now, currently, if you ask me, I what I figured out is whenever we receive a set of powers. We There is this almost percentage of being manipulated by greed, like getting blinded by greed. So I always thought that if I get this ultimate power, I will always wish power above it to control my powers itself. So I know this is getting complicated. I'll make it a very small. That is a power to control and limit the powers to make sure that my mind or my decisions don't go crazy because I'm way too powerful. So that was one of the things where I stand right now.
Okay, that was a creative one.
I know.
Okay, so how do you manage your academics with the responsibilities you hold?
Okay, I have faced this question not only from our friends but also from our families. They ask you, how do you manage this? You have to do your like academics right now. Do you manage your volunteering? I think so. This is a very popular question in our society, I think. So let me tell you from a perspective of say what? Okay, from the perspective of a volunteer, volunteering and networking are some of my favorite hobbies. Like I mentioned before, it is something I enjoy doing as a person. Like people enjoy singing music, people enjoy dancing. I enjoy volunteering and networking at its peak. So, and IEEE, as I said, it is all about volunteering. And nobody, as the word itself says, it is not something that people impose on you, I think. Okay, so nobody imposes it on you, like you have to do it. It is, as the word itself says, it is taking up things voluntarily. So I think we know when we have an academic tension, we know to, you can stop this. It is volunteering. It is not an HR duty you are imposed to do. So similarly, when you have an academic tension, you deal with your academic tension. Then once the tension is lost, you can switch back to tighten your handle in volunteering. So I think it is an art of balancing. So it never bothered my academics anyways.
Okay, yeah. So, any major turning points in life?
Turning points. Okay, this is not me trying to advert for IEEE, but I would say IEEE only because when I look back, IEEE as is one of the major turning points. I used to embarrass myself as a person to when it comes to socializing or creating great networks or bonds with people, I used to simply, embarrass myself uh, on that, factor of socializing with people. I was very socially awkward person. But IEEE has been an icebreaker for me regarding that. I have made a beautiful set of network uh, through IEEE. So I would say that that answers the question, right?
Okay. So, were there any mistakes or wrong decisions that you took that you regret or you would wish to erase from the past?
Okay. So I wouldn't say wrong decisions, because decisions, like we take wrong decisions because there is a lot of factors around it, which made us led to take the decisions. Let's keep wrong decisions aside. It is a very huge story. So let's talk about mistakes. Yes, a lot. We all are humans. We make mistakes. I have made mistakes a lot. In fact, I have made more mistakes than I have made, good things in my life. The things I really recollect as mistakes very effectively are the ones. One of them is self-doubting, and the fact I used to, I used to give this handle to everyone to, talk over my capabilities, like letting them letting others have a command over my own capabilities. So that is one of the thing but I did change it. I believe only you can set your boundaries. Only you can figure out your what are your limits. So I think I was the other way. I used to let people, have a command over my capabilities. What should I do? What am I capable of doing? I used to, listen to bhashans of people who tried to give pointless opinions in my life. So I have learned it the hard way. And similarly, self-doubting. Like I said, I have this insecurity, which the inner voice of us, which keeps me asking, will I be able to do that? Should I take over that? Or am I deserving? So these are some of the mistakes I think I have made in my life, and I never want to make. So yeah, but it was worth it. Learning the hard way is not that bad as the society pictures it to be.
Yeah, you always learn from your mistakes, so it's completely fine. Okay, so how do you keep yourself motivated while facing a failure?
Okay. Keeping myself motivated. Okay. One of my technique to keep myself motivated is looking at the outcomes of things I have been a part of. So, like I said about UNI Bangalore, what we do in this UNI chapter is we spend 2.5 hours with these kids, these underprivileged kids. UNI Bangalore, like UNI Thrissur chapter is at Seva Sadanam. It's a girls-only orphanage situated at near the Kerala Varma College, Thrissur. So what we do is every Sundays we go there and spend like 2.5 hours with these kids, teaching them, basic English and computer skills and life skills, and making them happy. So whenever I get caught up with work in my college or academics, I might not make it to home certain weekends. I'll be stuck at Calicut only. So when I miss classes and the next week when I go there, I see these girls running towards me. Akka, where were you? Like, why didn't you come last week? I missed singing the phonetics with you. I wrote a letter for you because I missed you. So see, their wait coming to an end when they see us and them laughing and they're rendering a smile to us. Just I just recollect them. I just take a quick glance at them and I'm fully recharged. I'm fully energized. So looking at these positive, beautiful outcomes or the situations where it showed us that we really matter to certain people, are we are trying to make changes and that are actually giving outputs. So looking at these outcomes, I feel really happy. So I feel really energized and rejuvenated. That is one of the factors that keeps me self motivated. Similarly, good friendships and amazing friends. I am lucky to have a great bunch of friends who, stands with me through the thick and thin of life that takes me through. So their like constant motivation and them serving us as a constant support system is another reason, another factor which keeps me motivated.
Okay. So, what are your greatest strengths and weaknesses, and how do they affect you?
Okay. Strengths. Strength, yes. When you talk about strengths, in my case, my strengths and weakness are basically the same thing. And that one thing is I don't know to say no. I'm not saying about consent, okay? I'm specifically talking about opportunities. I'm not talking about consent over here. I don't know to say no when it comes to any sort of opportunities that shows up to me. So even if I don't know, or even if I have a limited knowledge regarding whatever that opportunity is, instead I would rather say yes, and that's from where I start learning how to do that task. So it has pros and cons. So you'll get to learn a new thing, but it is not necessary that you do it with your 100% because you have only received a short-term period to achieve that opportunity or complete that opportunity. So yes, that will be my strength as well as my weakness.
Okay. So the next one's a bit interesting one. If you had $1 million, what would you do with it?
Wow, what a question. I'd probably get me a lot of pizza. Like, seriously, who doesn't like pizza? I get myself a lot of pizza. I know it's stylish, but that's me.
Okay, simple as
That's
that.
me genuinely answering the question.
Okay. So we have a question from a chat box. Any dream project in life? What is your biggest dream?
Okay, dream projects or biggest dream. Okay, when I talk about dreams or things I want to do in my future, I just want to do things that will make me happy and will keep me fulfilled, feel satisfied. I need to feel this happiness and feel this fulfillment whenever I do things, and that would be the one thing I want to do. So definitely, when you ask what are the things that make you happy or what are the things that make you satisfied, it is not a single dream, right? So it is a collection of things you love doing that makes you happy, like throwing some random things on or towards
The
the
little
audience.
things.
I love, going out and traveling, trekking. So that will be one thing that I keep to my biggest as one of my thing to do in my life. The biggest dream of mine. Similarly, I might love reading. Similarly, I might love eating street foods. So it is a collection of things you love doing. So when you ask me to narrow down into onto a single dream, I don't think I have an answer for that.
Right. So, being a part of IEEE, you may have built a greater network, right? So, how has it benefited you?
Okay, IEEE and networking is the best thing. I personally find it the most eye-catching thing of IEEE. Because I like it a lot. Like I said, IEEE people are so amazing. They try to lift you up. They try to push you to the forefront if you have a desire. All you need to have is a desire to I want to do that. I want to achieve it. All you need is that, and the rest, the people around you are going to lift you up there, provide you with all the resources they have, provide you with everything they have, help you gain knowledge, whatever it is, they are going to help you with however the way they can to push you to the forefront. Like one example will be Mushraf, your senior. So how I networked or how I got to work with Mushraf is through IEEE Malabar Hub War. We all make the same squad C, which are the toppers. So kudos. So we along with CUK makes this squad C. So that's when I got to know acquainted Mushraf and started working with him. So he has been a beautiful exposure for me. Example, this opportunity. Let's look at it. This opportunity was brought to me by Mushraf, his college, his student branch. Similarly, through him, I got to become a part of an amazing event, which took place a couple of days ago. That is Youth Career Connect 2020. So it was organized. It was a global event, online event, and it gave me this opportunity to network with people from work as an intern under this Bangalore-based tech platform Skillablers. And since it was a global event, we had volunteers and event coordinators from all over India. There were event coordinators from Kolkata. There were event coordinators and students joining as volunteers from Chennai, Bangalore. So that is a very huge another network which he connected me to. Similarly, I got an opportunity to meet a lot of youth professionals, industrial panelists, because I had this opportunity to host the events of their panel discussions. So I got to a good number of events I hosted. So I got to interact with these expert panelists of their panel discussions. So that was, and all over the experience it have given me. So all this because I maintained and developed a good, professional relationship with Mushraf. So just imagine if one person can give you all these opportunities. Just imagine if you make a handful of networking through IEEE, you will have, beautiful world out there. I'll say beautiful world of opportunities. So yeah.
Okay. So, what are some of your personal experiences or thoughts as a woman in engineering?
Okay. So let's make this a little bit interesting. Just give me give me any 5 women CEOs out in the world. Do you know any 5 women CEOs out there? Okay, just forget 5. Just 3 or 2 or 1. Just give me.
Yeah, it is hard to find.
Okay. Similarly, even I'll have to go check on Google who are the women CEOs in
Yeah,
India.
there are no well-known
Yes,
women CEOs.
we are very limited to the knowledge. All we know is Sundar Pichai is the Google CEO. Yes, that's how narrowed down our. See, that's what we see. That's not because we are not. There are no any. So yes, I can say Indira no. Yes, right. Shamimuddin said, great. That's right. So see, why is it that? Why is? Have you guys ever wondered why there aren't any many women CEOs as there are men CEOs out there? Like, is it because they are less fortunate to come up with ideas that can be sold? I don't think so because I this Fortune 500 list of CEO roles says that 7.4 percentage of female, there are 7.4 percentages of CEO there are females. They'll give you a list of 37 women CEOs all over the world. So it is not, it clearly answers the question. It is not because women are less fortunate to come up with an idea that can be sold. So from my experiences and from whatever I have been through and whatever I have faced or I have been a part of, I can strongly say that, and I strongly believe that women have say opportunities or equal potential capabilities. They have everything equal as men out there when it comes to becoming a lead of a men dominated corporate world. So that is what, from my experience, I strongly believe that point, and that will be one of the thoughts as a woman in engineering I would like to share with you.
Okay. So we have a question in the chat box. If you could run away just for one day in your life, where would you go?
Okay. Where would I go if I had a day to run away? Okay, I might. Let's look at the selfish side of mine. I'll go to somewhere where I can I'll have a bunch of loving people or puppies out there. Uh, hello, hello,
Yes,
can you
you're
hear me?
audible.
Okay, so looking
Yes,
at
you're audible. Go on.
the selfish side, let me tell you, I'll go somewhere where people and animals live in peace. That's where I would love to go.
Okay, that's a nice one. So, how do your friends and family describe you?
Excuse me, I couldn't hear you.
How do your friends and family describe you?
Okay, that is
Am I audible?
that question. See, answering that genuinely, I can. I don't know about. Let me not talk about friends. At least about my families. Let me tell you. Whenever they come into my room, like whenever mom comes to my room asking for me, Anamika, come have breakfast or have dinner or lunch, she'll always see me in front of laptop, emailing people or in conference calls or meetings. Trying to figure out what to do next, what is even next. So these are the things she see on a day-to-day basis since the lockdown started. So I think from her for her she might have pictured me as a desperate workaholic person. So for further clarifications I might have to call mom and ask.
So this lockdown has affected everyone either positively or in a negative manner. So what were your experiences? Any lessons?
Okay, that is okay. So answering that, I'll see. Again, a disclaimer. I'm not trying to prove that this pandemic happening out there is amazing or really call it has a positive impacts. No, we all know that it has turned the world upside down. It has many people out there are suffering, and it is not. We never want this to happen anymore. We want this to end. So similarly, about the law about this whatever is happening, the new normal being cooked up out there, I would say neither am I a big fan of this situation right now. But when I look into my personal space, when I look into my inner boundaries as a person, I see progress. I see a positive impact of lockdown in my life. I see progress when I look back and look at the Anamika during the February 2020, whereas when I look at the Anamika during the May 2020 or a couple of months back, I see a lot of mm, progress. Let me say, we all, I know there is this platform GitHub. I have a account in there, but I have no idea how that thing works. I never used to know, like I didn't know how it used to work. So I used to have, I know there is this platform GitHub. I have an account in there, but I have no idea what it is for or how I can showcase my skills over there. Then this lockdown comes, IEEE is, bashing you with webinars and classes and hands-on sessions for free. So a lot of, we all know, a lot of student branches out there conducted. It was a trend, introduction to GitHub webinars. So I attended a couple of them, and I literally enlightened me. Oh God, this is how you use GitHub. This is an amazing platform. You can go for references over there. In fact, you can upload your own works over there. Similarly, in case of web development, I had no idea about HTML or CSS. So I did biology. I was a non-engineering aspirant. I wanted to do journalism and all, but then somehow I got into this engineering. So speaking of that, I didn't have any good basics of HTML and whatever. So, but when even our SB itself conducted a session, hands-on session, it was handled by Feni of Nice, Maharaj Ignatius College of Engineering, Kolamangalam. So it was a 7-day session where he taught us the basics from scratch. And after the 7-day session, I developed myself a personal website purely HTML and CSS basis, nothing much. You can just scroll, that's it. And I haven't hosted it or anything, but I feel it as an achievement that this lockdown I could do it. So I was a person who believed that this 4 years won't make me capable of being a beautiful engineer. But from the past months, I have this, realization that in a few months, if I can do all this, if I use these opportunities out there very productively, I think with this 4 years, we can be more than what we think we can actually be. So that would be it. So so when I ultimately conclude into a brief answer, it is because it, for me personally, it was productive and positive.
All right. So thank you so much, Amika. This has been really great. I extend my deep gratitude on behalf of IEEE MESD for accepting our invitation and sharing your wonderful experiences with us. So also we would like to reveal the ninth guest of the VTalk series, Ms. Shigli Suhana, student of clinical psychology, co-founder of Stories Revolutionary, mental health activist, mental educator at the Red Cycle. She's also a social influencer and CEO of the Wish Foundation, Oduma. And the session would be moderated by Ms. Murshida, Secretary of the IEEE Computer Society, MESDC. So once again, thank you, Anamika, and thank you everyone for joining. The participants may leave the window now.
Okay.
Adding on, 1 second, Anamika, excuse me. Adding on.
Make your lockdown productive. You still have time. Okay, bye.
Yeah, Anamika. Hello, Anamika. We had Shubhu, Rahul Chetai all over the session over here.
Oh my God.
Shubhu over
Okay,
here, Rahul Chetai. We had also Akash and everyone were over here. So I would like to thank everyone on behalf of that. Yeah. He had a question for you in the chat window. Have you noticed that? How did you manage? I will read out for you that. How did you manage YCC event? It was like working under pressure or not?
It was, oh my God. There are people who are, Rahul Chaitan and all other here. So I guess I'll answer him whether, personally. It was one fun experience when I look back now, but when I was living through it, it wasn't that easy. So I can leave now?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Cool. Okay. Thank you once again. Thank you, Anamika, and thank you for all the participants. Can leave the meeting window now.
Bye bye.
Have a nice day.